I'm Josh Temple, and I am the residential coordinator at Shepherd's Hill Academy.
How did you first learn about Shepherd's Hill Academy?
I actually learned from a staff member that was working here. I met him outside of here, and he introduced me, told me about the place, and really kind of put it on my mind. So I found out through a current employee.
Good. Tell me about your role, your involvement with the ministry.
So I am the residential coordinator at Shepherd's Hill Academy, and what I do is oversee all things residential. So I'm over the Guys and the Girls Woods program as well as the Next Step programs, and just ensuring that the residential is running smoothly and that any kind of therapeutic goals or insights are being implemented on the residential side of things.
How would you describe the vision or the mission or the heartbeat of the ministry?
The heartbeat really is what we do in terms of changing culture, one child or one life, one family at a time, and it's really encouraging to see God use us in that way to make just these wonderful changes, seeing God's hand at work in the lives of these, not only the kids but also the parents, because this is definitely a time where the parents are challenged as well, and the parents are kind of forced out of their comfort zone, and just whole families being reconciled to one another and seeing this spiritual development and growth is really awesome.
Yeah, that's good. How is the Lord using the ministry to share the gospel? Talk about evangelism opportunities.
This is one of the most practical places I've ever been to in terms of just real nitty-gritty evangelism. I've been involved with churches and obviously evangelism happens there as well. But this is a place where students get to see the gospel not just taught but lived out. And when that is very important. There's a saying that people say here all the time that more is caught than taught. And so it's one thing for me to preach the gospel, but it's entirely different when you're seeing that lived out and seeing those very practical, tangible examples of what it looks like to be Jesus.
That's awesome. Talk about discipleship. How are you guys making disciples?
We make disciples through not only the Bible studies that we have here. There's devotions that are run every night. There's chapels every Friday. But then there's these beautiful moments to where we can have one-on-one conversations where I know that for some staff, myself included, I like to open the floor for any kind of questions that anybody's ever had about religion. I always tell them, ask whatever you want as long as you're respectful. And so we've got kids from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life that maybe have never felt comfortable because maybe they were raised in a Christian home and were afraid to disappoint mom and dad if they gave any pushback. Well, here I encourage that because Jesus encouraged questions. And so we don't hide. The truth doesn't hide. And so that's such a cool conversation to be able to go into is when you hear real struggles and to be able to have those answers or at least direct in the right way.
Awesome. Talk about some of those circumstances, the situations these kids are coming from, and maybe the family dynamics.
And that's really where it gets sad when you hear the background of maybe what led some of the kids into some of the things that they're dealing with right now. It's really heartbreaking. So I know there's a lot of substance abuse, there's anger issues, there's sexual trauma, and there's a lot of other issues that these kids are dealing with that a lot of times the parents don't know how to handle, or maybe don't want to acknowledge is there to begin with. Maybe they're at fault, maybe they're not. And so this is really a beautiful, as Mr. Trey says, a sterile environment to allow the Holy Spirit to really do some surgery and to really cut at the core in the heart of the issues.
Awesome. Talk about ways Christians can get involved in the support of ministry like Shepherd's Hill Academy.
Well, definitely right now we need workers. Especially with this year, it's been, our word of the year has been refine. And it's been amazing seeing how that word has played out. And when we've gone through everything that we've been through this year, like so many other people, you've seen the true character, or a true division, I should say, kind of arise within people, not just here, but outside of here. And so there's been a definite need for workers with good heart, pure intentions, and we've seen some rock stars really step up. And but there's always room to grow. We're growing, and we definitely need more people. And we always are in need of prayer, and of course, any financial support would be amazing as well as we continue to grow.
Volunteer opportunities, work groups.
Yeah, there's always room for volunteers if maybe people don't want to come work here full time. But there's several hundred acres here that definitely needs upkeep, and there's certain building projects that we have going on that could always use we could use an extra hand on.
Good stuff. So why do you do what you do?
I definitely am here because I'm called. My plans were always to move to the Caribbean and be a scuba dive instructor. And I can't leave, though, because I know there's no other job that I've ever done that's been so fulfilling because I get to see God's hand at work. Even in the discouraging times, it's always just, I'm always more reaffirmed, it seems like, than ever before that this is where God has called me.
Awesome. Is there anything else the Lord put on your heart to share with us today about Shepherd's Hill Academy?
This is definitely a place that I'd put my name behind, and I'm here for a reason. Not only because God has called me here, but because God is moving and He's doing great things here.